Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another great episode of Let's Talk, the Business Spotlight Edition, that we are here to empower, uplift, and motivate our audience. And I am so blessed and honored to have Dr. Maureen Bryan here with us today. She has a great story to tell, and we can't wait to get into it. So if you want to say hello to the Let's Talk family.
Of course, hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Maureen Bryan. I have completed my PhD in business administration with a concentration in healthcare administration. I currently work as a healthcare administration professional with a reputable and renowned healthcare plan.
Yes, and so we're going to definitely get into that. We're going to go ahead and talk to you about your great book that you're part of, and talk about a little bit about your story on becoming the Dr. Bryan as we see in front of us today. So let's go into the first thing. So just give me your why. Why did you feel it was important for you to complete the doctorate degree?
Why? It was important for me to complete my PhD degree because the seed was planted from I was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Jamaica and we were very poor. My father's way of helping me to read was to teach me to read by using the Sunday Gleaner. I don't know where he used to get it from. I was I was seen as a brilliant child. It followed me in basic school, all age school, high school through college. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had it embedded in me. I had a heightened passion embedded in me that I must achieve my PhD.
Yeah, and that was a great accomplishment. I actually had my master's, and so as soon as I finished my master's degree, when I finished my bachelor's degree, my mother said, "Are you gonna get your master's?" And then I got my master's, and my mother said, "You gonna get your doctorate?" And I'm like, "Really? Like, can I celebrate this what we in right now?" So I have promised myself that I will get my doctorate degree. That is going to be coming, Lord willing. I will definitely get my doctorate degree. So I know that was a beautiful day when you graduated. I know you just felt like you honored your parents, you honored yourself, your children.
Yeah.
So I know you had gave me a little story about your daughter, about the doctorings. You want to share that story with us?
Yes, I want to share with you in the when I started my PhD program, I thought everything was going on fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to hit roadblocks. And the first for me was for my chairperson, the person who is responsible for my academic program, told me that it would be better for me to drop out from the dissertation program because I couldn't manage. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
manage the study. And so, with everything else, came the roadblocks of failed marriage, thrown into single parenting. I lost the confidence in myself. I said, okay, maybe she was right. And my bigger daughter, she came to me during that time and she said, Mom, are you still doing your PhD program? And I said, no. And I explained to her why I did not have the mind to the mindset to go ahead with it. And she said, okay, Mom, I want to be a medical doctor when I grow up. So what about this? You go ahead and restart the program because it would be nice for us to have two doctors in the family. And when
Oh.
she said that to me, it perked something from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. I didn't know she was watching me. I didn't know it meant so much to her. And so I found the courage through God to re enter the program.
That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. Our children watch us way more than we think.
Mhm.
A lot of times you see that they're not paying you no mind or no attention, and they really are.
Yeah.
And I know when I went for my master's degree, you know how that schedule is. You be doing that nighttime studying, and you come take a nap, and you wake up and
Yep.
you take, you study when they sleep, and then
Yep.
you got to get up and get ready to go to work and do it all over again the next day. And
Yep.
I was falling asleep doing my papers and stuff, and they will go in there, they'll come in there and jump on the bed, mommy, you're gonna fail, wake up, you're gonna fail. So, that alone, shows them that they can do it. I always
Yep.
tell people, don't ever think you're too old to get a degree or education
Yep.
if that's what you want, because believe me, your children see you, working, taking care of
Absolutely.
them and going to school, then they know they can just go to school and do it,
Yep.
because, they're not gonna have as many responsibilities on them when it's time for them to go. So that's a great story. I really love that story. So let's talk about the book that you're a part of. And I actually started to read the book the other day because I received my copy. But can
Yes.
you tell your section of the books? I know there's 17 co-authors, correct?
Yes, there's 17 co-authors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my part of the book starts on page 17 and it's entitled Do Not Quit on Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The content of the book is based on two scriptures, Philippians 4 verse 13 and Second Chronicles 20 verse 15. And
Mm-hmm.
Philippians 4 verse 13 3 verse 14 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And Second Chronicles 20 verse 15 says, do not be afraid or discouraged because of the vast army, for the battle is not yours, it's the
Mm-hmm. It's a
Lord's.
Amen.
Those my chapter is based on those scriptures because when I met the roadblocks through my dissertation journey,
Mm-hmm.
only with God's help I was able to be successful. And that's the premise of the book. I want my audience to understand that they should not give up on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I told you, roadblocks are just temporary.
That's right.
It's just a season to see where you are,
Mm-hmm.
to to understand what is going on, and with God's help, be able to move out of that season.
That's right. And that's what exactly what it is roadblocks. Like you said, they're not really blocks. They just little delays. They
Yes,
just little delays, and
yes,
and sometimes the delays is for you to kind of get yourself centered, to get yourself regrouped, for you to clean up or to declutter your thoughts, whatever. Sometimes that stillness is what God loves to do.
yep,
Sometimes He likes to keep us still. Sometimes for us to
yep,
kind of regroup. So I always say, think of it that way. Then anything that happens to you, you're gonna know it's not happening to you; it's happening for you. It's a difference.
absolutely,
It's a
yep,
big difference. So,
yep.
where you see yourself, Dr. Bryan, in 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
I believe God has furnished a gift of empowering people. I have, individuals who would come up to me and say, remember you encouraged me to do this course, or you said this to me. And so I believe that I'm here to bless people. And so where I am in 5 years, I want to be an established educator in the college
Mm-hmm.
and with telling people life experiences, not for my sake, but for them to learn, to understand, and to be encouraged that they can move along if they do not quit on themselves.
Can I give you a little bit of something I think that would be great up your alley?
Go
You
ahead,
what you could
Regina.
do or think about doing is be a motivational speaker in the college sectors of people, especially Black people who want to go get a doctorate degree,
Yep,
because there's a lot, we're not in the, well, we are growing in that sector now, but there's a lot of people that's on that borderline, or a lot of people don't think that they could do it. And if you could do, if you go to a college or whatever and speak to these people who are on the borderline of getting a doctorate, you probably
yep,
push them over the edge to go ahead and do it, because they'll see that, yeah, it's going to be a little
yep,
difficult, but you can do it. So you
of
may
course.
be to being a motivational speaker in that niche, because there's not a lot of people in that niche. And I
Mhm.
think that you'll be really really beneficial to a lot of African Americans that want to get a doctorate degree.
Thank
Just
you.
an idea. I'm gonna put it out there. Hope you receive it. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. If it ever happens, you just let me know. I was gonna know if it
Yes.
does. Okay, so what are you currently working on right now? Is there anything you're working on? A book or
Yes.
anything?
Yes. I am currently working on my book.
There you go.
I have quite a few stories to tell. As it relates to me growing up in Jamaica, as it relates to me coming here as an undocumented person, how I got my green card, the miracles surrounding that, how I started my education, and how I got here, including um, my marriage, my failed marriage, and single parenting. So there's a host of information that I'm putting in that book.
That's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good guide. You know,
Yes.
this every time you like. I didn't realize if I'm going through something, there's about a good couple million people going through it too. It's like it's never just you. And anything that
Yep.
happens in the world is never just you. It's always somebody else that could feel your happiness, pain, struggles, achievements,
Absolutely.
accomplishments.
Yes.
It's like there's someone out there that knows what you're feeling. Sometimes we
Yep.
feel alone, but we are not alone. We're definitely not alone. So as Facebook fam, as you see, we have the scrolling on the bottom, her Facebook information as well as her email address. If you're interested in reading her book, like I said, it's 17 co-authors that all have women that have beautiful stories they telling, inspirational, motivational stories they telling about their journeys in this world. I'll recommend the book. I definitely will. Dr. Bryan is a beautiful spirit and soul, and she's telling you can do it. So a lot of times we need that. So if you definitely interested, these are the ways you can find her. You can message her on the Mattress Facebook as well as email her if you're interested in her book. And before we go, I want to ask you this last question. Can you give me your defining moment? What is a moment in your life that was defining to you?
There are so many of them.
Just give me one good one.
Yes, I'll give you one good one. Remember, I stated before that when I started my PhD program, I
Mm-hmm,
thought from start to finish would be smooth sailing.
mm-hmm,
And the moment came when the professor told me that I was no good to my doctoral program. And a couple of years down the line, I found a wonderful chair that everything about her aligned with me. And I was able to be successful in my doctoral program,
mm-hmm.
which tells me, again, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams for anybody. Only God can validate you. People will say all kind of negativity about you, but remember, only God. God's validation is ideal for you.
That's it. That's the only validation you need is from God. I had to learn that myself, and I get it through people and
Oh,
man. You get it through God to tell you. And that little sit down moment could have been it could have been a really a real roadblock for some people
yep,
because you took a couple of years. It wasn't like it happened overnight.
yeah,
So
yep,
you may just do that application now or do this the workout or just moved on, and you still was kind of like, okay, I still want to do this,
mm-hmm,
and you being patient and you being steadfast paid off, and then
yes,
you were able to match up with a counselor or not a counselor.
yep.
What is her name? Is a counselor? She's a counselor.
A
I
chairperson.
know in doctrines is called there's something different, a chair
Yeah.
that you was able to get with a chair and be able
Yep.
to have a good connection with, because that's important in that program. Because that program is really, from
Intense,
what I
intense,
heard,
very intense.
you kind of find out who you are. You find out what you're made of. You find out that there's
Yep.
things that you thought you couldn't do, yet you can.
Yes. Yes.
And that mentor, that person that's working with you through that program, it has to be synced because it's not
Absolutely.
just papers, it's emotions. There's going to be
Mindset.
crying. Yep, there's going to be crying. There's
Yep.
going to be
Yep.
celebration. And
Yep.
that person has to be a good hearted person to be in that position, in that role.
Yep.
because they got to deal with emotional roller coasters with all these students that they deal with.
Yep.
Everybody gonna go through something through that program.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I
Yep.
cried in my master program. I literally cried.
Yeah.
I was like sitting there, like, okay, I can't. That
Mhm.
thesis, woo! I was just like, it's not that important. I know doing the doctoral program, it
Yeah.
was 10 times fold, but I really, I honor you. I do honor you. And you're a very, very inspirational person. I hope that
Yeah.
whoever's watching this through the Let's Talk fam that is in the process of thinking about going back to school for anything, if you want to go get your associates, your
Yeah.
bachelor's, your doctorate, or your master's, whatever it is, please believe you can do it. I did it at 40. I graduated at 43. Yeah. I'm like, what is, yeah, 43. I
Uh-huh.
graduated at 43 years old with my master's program. So it is possible. Don't let nothing, age, or anything stop you from living your dreams if you want to be college educated, or
Yep.
even get if you want to be whatever it is,
Yep.
certification, anything,
Yep.
anything. Learning doesn't stop till you leave this world.
Nope. Absolutely not.
No, it doesn't stop till you leave this world. So
Mhm.
don't ever let somebody tell you too old to do this and you're too old to do that. You're not too old. As long as God gave you breath and your brain is
Yep.
functioning, you're walking this earth, you could go back to school. I know a lady that is at Harvard, I think right now, it was on the news a couple of weeks ago, 80 something years old, 82, 83
Yeah.
years old.
Mhm. Yes.
And she said, I always wanted to go to Harvard. So I applied to Harvard and I got in.
Yep.
And
Yes.
she's doing the work. So
Mhm.
imagine. And I bet she is so fun to be with. I know she's probably nice and youthful, and you keep your
Yeah.
brain going, you stay youthful too.
Mhm.
So I really, really believe that. So Dr. Bryan, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate you. Is there anything you want to say before we close out today?
Yes, I just want to say that remember, as I said, no one's validation is important, only the Lord's. And your roadblocks will come as situations that are temporary, that will allow you a little season to reflect on where you are and where you're going. And remember, always trust in God. And Philippians 3, verse 14 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's the promise I leave with you.
Beautiful ending, beautiful closing. Thank you so much. Once again, this is Regina Smithwick, your host for Let's Talk, the Business Spotlight Edition. If you are interested in being on the Business Spotlight, if you wanted to if you wanted to put your business up here, your product, your services, anything, please contact me. You can reach me at Let's Talk, and it would be at Let's Talk 1943 at gmail.com, and I'll be able to definitely help you get your show up here. So until next time, God bless.
Thank you, Regina.
Thank you.